Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Not the 76 O'Clock News. And it is, in fact, not the 76 O'Clock News because we will not be speaking about Fallout 76, I think. However, we may be playing it afterwards. So, good evening. My apologies if you hear the occasional shout. They're somehow managing to be noisy enough to get through the soundproof door. So, tweet. Oh, God, I forgot to tweet. I did, in fact. I did an emote, though. I got an emote up. Don't I get brownie points for that? Surely I get brownie points for that. Getting told off my moderators. Thought you'd like it. There's an emote. Did you like the emote? There's a new emote. I did an emote. I'm going to do that. New emotes on the live stream. Should call this the emote stream, basically. All right. And I think I got it. There you go. I tweeted. Are we good? Come on, it's only been about 7 years and I finally got some emotes. Just, you know. And yes, all of the credit does in fact go to Quorico, who organised the entire thing. I'm new at this. Oh dear. Who was... Oh, what? I don't have my sound turned on. Excuse me. I do not have my sound turned on. I need my sound turned on to hear the alerts because we got an alert then. Let me double check and see who that was. That was Coffee Cat. Welcome. Cool name. Very cool name. You are welcome, Enigma. See, I don't know if I've got sound yet because... I've turned the headphones on, but it usually takes a second or so for them to actually, warm up. Who's that? Resub! Valen! Thank you very much. Why can't you use what? The new emote. Right. You may have to refresh your browser. You may have to refresh your browser to see the new emote. You may. Right? It can happen that way, right? Because I can't actually see... Oh, Princess Peabody. Oh, we got a hype train going already. We got a hype train. Have I seen the new Amnesia trailer? No, I've not. Can we do this in a semblance of order? Yeah, let's do this in a semblance of order. I'm doing... This is like emote time. We've got order. Yes. Thank you, Squeaky Rabbit. Oh, Squeaky. I got a mouse. Thank you very much. I got a mouse. Yes. Oh, new chair as well. Was that another new chair? I'm losing track. Quorico has resubbed. Thank you very much. The little Indian kid. Thank you very much. Jean-Clee. Princess Peabody. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much for the chair. Why can't I use it? Twitch. You'll be able to. You will. Trust me. It'll get there eventually. As I said, though, you may need to... Okay. The hype train's stopping me from even looking at it. The hype train is stopping me from... Good grief. New cheer. Who cheer? A lovely way to burn. Thank you very much. Crazy Talk. Thank you very much. Right, the hype train is sort of getting in the way of my ability to emote. Right, whenever I look at the stream manager, oh dear, oh dear. Right, yeah. Give me a second. Whenever I look at the browser for my stream manager on my laptop, it's so busy. There's so much information there that I actually have difficulty keeping. It's all like squished, and I need to reorganize it. I'm wondering if I can actually do that. Oh, I can. I can pop out the chat, for example. That would work. Ooh, get in there. Right, all right. Sorry, yes, once again, professional streamer at work here. Sounds like I'm getting bulldozed. Little bit. I'm trying to both do the professional streamer thing, look at all the chats and all of the cheers coming in, and at the same time juggle a few things like the emotes and things. But it can take a little time for my brain to kick in. No, I meant for well, for both, to be honest. All right, so things to discuss today. We have got quite a few things. Oh, Kermit Beres, thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Hype train's definitely going. Lord of Thunder, all above board the hype train. We got a resub. Who's the resub? Zippers. Zippers. Oh dear. Yes. Emote hype. It's basically emote hype at this point, isn't it? That's what's going on. Emote hype. And who was that? Who was that? Who was that? What did I miss? Enigma. Thank you very much. Today's the day to sub, apparently. Apparently it is, isn't it? Nightcrawler, 1976. Is that just a random choice of name, or are you naming it after the movie? It was a TV series as well, actually, wasn't it? Didn't it become a TV series as well? I think it might have become a TV series at some point. I may be wrong. Che had it sorted out years ago. Yeah, I know. A lovely way to burn has gifted a sub to Socian. I'm sure I've said that name before and got it right. I could have sworn I got that name right once upon a time. But apparently not now. That time is not now. Oh, Dread Pirate Santa! Thank you very much! Not the ladder! Oh. Yep. Why a ladder? Oh, if you don't know about the ladder, then you weren't watching our Borderlands stream. Dear oh dear. Oh. That one's probably going to be popular, isn't it? That one is probably going to be popular. Just a feeling. Just a feeling I have got. I should show the chat. I should show the chat for the VOD so people can see what the hell is going on. Dear oh dear. Yes. Oh, we've got the cat as well and the ladder. Oh, dear, oh dear. So anyway, right, let's talk about actual things, shall we? I mean, apart from emotes, emotes are good. We all love emotes. But let's talk about, stuff. So, okay, first things first, home situation. Right, the noise is still going on. It is not as mind-shatteringly bad as it was. It's loud. It prevents me from working. It prevents me from. I couldn't sleep. I did try. I tried putting industrial earplugs in again and noise cancelling headphones, and still couldn't. Just no way. So can't sleep and can't really work when they're working. But it's not quite skull shattering levels of noise. So I can sort of do some very basic stuff, but not really very much. But they do tend to start going a bit quieter around mid-afternoon, and then I can usually get a couple of hours work done, and then I can work into the evening. So it's still very much tutorials only at this point. It is tutorials only at this point. So we're still a ways off being able to do Let's Plays. Luckily, again, Chapter 7 is complete and will go on for a while. I've got a buffer, and I'm so glad I got in the habit of getting a buffer of videos for this reason. But it does mean that what's happening is I'm sort of doing a lot of research and testing and so on for tutorials, and then when it gets quiet, I do some quick recording of lines, and then I try to do the editing when it's not as quiet. So it will be over in some point. Yeah, probably about 5 to 6 more weeks, which is awful. But it's just how it is. There's nothing I can do. It's just, that's life when you live in an apartment. If I had a house on a desert island, I might be able to get guaranteed peace and quiet. But as I said, I'm hoping that they will finish the worst of it, the bathroom, sometime soon, and then maybe they'll probably start working on the kitchen. I'm hoping they'll get the worst of it out of the way, so I might be able to sleep while they're working with their earplugs in, and hopefully I can then work during the night and start on the next Let's Play. No idea what it is at the moment. I'm torn on the whole Let's Play thing. I am torn on the Let's Play things. We're still level 2 hype train emote is gained. Excellent. So I mean, I'm really liking the idea of a new Vampire the Masquerade playthrough as Nosferatu. But there's plenty of other things. I think I'm going to take a break between Skyrim Special Edition. I think I'm gonna hold off on Chapter 8 because there's some other stuff I want to do as well during this downtime. There is some other stuff I want to do during this downtime. For example, I think what I would like to do is fix my ENB, because my ENB, I don't know if you've noticed it, occasionally there's way too much lens flare. Although here's the thing, what I did notice is when I was playing around with it very briefly is the lens flare is actually from the game itself. And because what I do in my ENB is I don't overwrite the game's light system as much as most ENBs do, and I do that partly to keep the vanilla feel of the game and the mods I'm using, but also to allow night vision to work absolutely perfectly without any workarounds. It works absolutely straight out of the box, which is great. But it leaves the in-game lens flare, and it's kind of horrible. And I never really noticed it before, but it's probably being made worse by the fact that I've added more light sources through ENB. So I tweaked the lens flare right down to like 20% of what it was, and that really did help. But it also lost a little bit of the mystical feel I was getting from certain scenes. So it's kind of I think I want to tweak it a little bit so that it's there. But it was like there were certain places like the College of Winterhold at night, because of the mods I'm using and the ENB that adds particle lights, there's a ton of light sources and glow maps on windows and things like that. And it was really quite obvious that there was something wrong. And again, I will, as I said, even when you turn the ENB off, you still get a horrible amount of lens flare. So it's a work in progress. I want to tweak it. I have noticed a few places where fog will light up and then, like it will light and then dark, light, dark, light, dark. I think this is a common problem with a lot of ENBs. I don't know how most of them solve it, so I've got to do a bit of research. It may be something I can't resolve. It's just the occasional moment where you'll get a light flicker with the fog. So, and also I'm thinking of adding things like the God rays, make it maybe a little bit more mystical, but I need to do a lot of testing. So that's something I can do during this downtime if I can't get the Let's Plays. But predominantly it's going to be tutorials. That's what I'm really focusing on. So, bear with me. Although, if you're into tutorials, you probably like that. I've got 2 more Vortex tutorials planned, I think. I think I'm going to do a tutorial on the script extenders and maybe even the ENB with Vortex. But I am planning other tutorials outside of that. So I've not run out of tutorial ideas for the near future. And there's a lot of people going, well, will you update your Skyrim series? I might. I'm not 100% sure that's as required, but I might do a beginner's guide to modding Skyrim special edition, but that's a little bit away. So Tale of Two Wastelands, that is the one I'm really thinking of focusing on. I've been experimenting with that quite a lot. So, there will hopefully be, excuse me, frog in my throat. There will be more tutorials over the next few weeks whilst we're on a single Let's Play. I have to tell you though, the single Let's Play is not quite as has not been quite as drastic to the views as I thought it would be. In fact, actually 4 episodes of the Skyrim Let's Play per week has not dropped my views in the slightest. In fact, if anything, it's gone up. So 4 episodes of Leonard seem to be more popular than 3 of Leonard and 2 of something else. So, it seems that people like that Let's Play, which is good because I'm enjoying it. Yes, there you go. Some of you may have noticed there is a new emote up. No ladder. The ladder is a lie. Someone can't see the ladder. So we've got yes ladder and no ladder. Oh dear. Oh dear. Gopher did not finish Wasteland 2. No, I got a party wipe. And honestly, I don't think that works on my channel. I've had this conversation a few times. I think my channel works better with certain types of Let's Plays. Open world RPG seems to be the best one. Especially first person or perhaps over the shoulder, Witcher 3 style. After that, it seems to be horror Let's Plays that are short. But even games like The Outer Worlds, that is an RPG, but it's not an open world one and it's not that long and I don't know the game that well, so I can't make my own story. Nowhere near as popular as, say, my Skyrim Let's Plays, so, And of course, there are a gazillion other games I'd love to play. I'm still not totally sure how popular they would be. I get asked a lot, will you do game X? And it might even be a game I want to play, but I have to look at it and think, right, but an example of that is Mass Effect. Would it be popular? And there's a big if there. A lot of people say, well, of course it will. It's a popular game. Right, but that doesn't seem to be a particularly good indicator of whether or not a Let's Play would be popular on my channel. Because people don't watch my Let's Plays for the game. They watch it for the stories I tell or my commentary. So, there's no guarantee that Mass Effect would be a popular choice just because it's a popular game. It might be one of those things that people love to play. And it's a huge commitment because you start with Mass Effect, and Mass Effect 1, that's going to be like a 70 episode Let's Play, if you include all the DLC. Maybe more, I don't know. It's a reasonably big game. It could be a big one. And that's if I don't do number 2 and 3. So it's a huge commitment. And I hate starting Let's Plays and not finishing them. Even if they're not popular, I want to finish them because I always feel like unfinished work is bad. There's been very few Let's Plays that I've just abandoned because I just couldn't do it. And Thief was one of them, right? So Shepard is a great character to tell a story. Right, but you're telling Shepard's story. It's not like I can, it's not the same. It isn't the same. But then the Witcher series was popular in that. But again, I think sometimes it's my reaction to those games as well. Sometimes it could be my reaction to those games. So Mass Effect could be popular, although I've got to say, a big problem with Mass Effect it is combat heavy at times, I think. We don't think about it, but there's actually quite a lot of combat going on. Optional Lemon, thank you for the resub. So anyway, it's a juggle. It's a juggle. But there's a gazillion other games. BioShock's really good game apparently. Would it make a good Let's Play? Would lots of people watch it? I suspect not. So. And right at the moment, I'm quite comfortable with the 4 episodes of a Let's Play per week and then try to focus. Even once the work stops here, I'm sort of thinking I'd like to keep focusing a little bit on some of these sort of tutorial things. So if I can leave a little spare time, a little wiggle room so that I can actually just sit down one day and... Because what I've been doing at the moment is just downloading Tale of Two Wastelands and installing it 25 different ways to see what happens, updating it, trying different things, just basically, just randomly doing things with it to see what happens. And that's the sort of thing I need to do for tutorials. So having a little wiggle room. Yeah, and then someone else mentioned Red Dead 2. So there's a huge game, big commitment, probably a great game for me to enjoy. Would it be a great Let's Play? Would people follow it and follow it the entire time? And that's probably one that's going to, if I'm doing Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm probably not going to be doing anything else Let's Play wise for a long time. Because I am going to run out of the Skyrim ones at some point, yeah? And right now, I'm very much against playing 2 games at once. I'm very much against playing 2 games at once because they do interfere with each other. People never think about that, but they interfere with each other quite a lot. Different games, different mechanics, different key setups, different things, different stories, different character. They interfere with each other because... Well, that does depend. Obviously, if you're playing Doom and you're playing The Witcher, they probably don't interfere with each other. You're in the mood for a bit of violent slaughter. Imagine both of those qualify. If you're in the mood for double jumping and demon slaying and you're playing Doom, you could probably switch to a more story-driven RPG like The Witcher quite easily. But if you were playing something like Kingdom Come Deliverance and Skyrim, trust me, it's hell. It is absolute hell to try and play them at the same time. It's absolutely, hell. From all the little things, because the interface is subtly different. And you think to yourself, just rebind the keys. It's not as simple as that. Sprinting on a horse in Skyrim, what do? You press the sprint button and it just toggles sprint on, right? In Kingdom Come Deliverance, you had to hold the button to canter, but if you double tapped it and then held, you sprinted. So it's things like that. And what you tend to find happens is you'll be playing Kingdom Come Deliverance and you'll be sprinting on pebbles, and then you'll start playing Skyrim and you'll double click, and what you'll do is you'll start sprinting and stop sprinting, and it's little things like that. Or you'll go into the inventory and you'll try to inspect something, but you'll eat it instead because the activate key in one game actually consumes, but it actually inspects in the other game. And these are the things you usually can't change. So it is actually amazingly difficult to play two games that similar, just because you keep making constant little minor input mistakes. And it's the sort of thing that people would not understand when watching. They go, why do you keep doing this? Why are you doing that? What, I don't understand why do you keep sprinting and then stopping and then going, oh, and then sprinting? What is it? Why, it's very difficult to explain. And it is also a tiny bit frustrating. So I think I'm going to be sticking to one game at a time. So there's a big problem with doing a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, where, I start it, and that's it. That's all that's going to be on my channel for about 6 months. So it's something I have to think about now. Yeah. Right. Red Dead Redemption 2 is the least Let's Play friendly and Gopher style game ever. It depends. It's probably the sort of game that appeals to my pacing and the way I want to play it. But of course, it's going to be one of those games that comes with a pre-made character, It's going to be a bit more like The Witcher in that respect. So yeah, so something like Red Dead Redemption 2, I would have to play that, record it, and then upload it at a later date, or play it in sections. Play it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, get a load of footage, then play Chapter 8 of Skyrim. Now, I can do that because that's what I did with Kingdom Come Deliverance. But you see the challenges of running 2 Let's Plays at once. Now, even doing a break between Skyrim, which I am going to start doing, if I'm going to be doing like 4 episodes a week of Skyrim, when Chapter 7 finishes, there will be a break for a month or so, maybe 2 months. And during that time, I might do something else. That's the question. The question is what else should I do? And the reason I've been doing 2 games at once is I would always have one game I considered safe and one game that was a bit risky. If I'm only doing one game, I can't do that. So once all the work is over and the social distancing is gone, I may be able to sort of, play ahead, get a lot more Let's Plays so that I can have some backups. Maybe if I do Vampire, just, zerg through it and record for 2 to 3 weeks, I can have that as running twice a week for, as the second Let's Play on the side of a safe one. Play a clumsy character, that way you can hide your mistakes when switching between games. Well, it's not really that the character's clumsy, it's that you keep doing, and then it'd have to be playing clumsy characters on every game I ever play. Every single character would have to be clumsy and have no idea whether he was looking at a sweet roll or eating it. So, however, the new Amnesia game, if there's a new Amnesia game, yeah, that's one I'm going to Let's Play. That's a guaranteed. Because that's probably going to be a short horror game. I'll play it, I'll complete the entire thing, and then I'll release that either the way I released the original Amnesia, in a block form between chapters, or as a secondary. So, an evil vampire playthrough where you kill everyone. Done that. I've done 3 playthroughs of Vampire, so yeah. But of course, we've no idea when things are going to come out, so there you go. That is my home situation and how it's going to affect work for the next few weeks, maybe months. Who was that? That was the Ozman. Oh, and I missed a sub, didn't I? Sylvalen gifted a sub to Within Mine Fires. And also, a Lovely Way to Burn gifted a sub to The Bacon Dragon. That is a cool name. That is a very, very cool name. Next thing to discuss, hardware. I got a new mouse, Squeaky Rabbit, thank you very much. I got the Logitech G Pro Wireless. And it's already got wear marks on the buttons. I can't believe it. I've only been using it for a couple of hours. It's got wear marks on the buttons. I think it's just that type of plastic where, it absorbs the the sweat from your fingers or something. It's just, you can see it. Right. This mouse is small. I did not know it was so small when I got it. I mean, when you look at the picture, it looks a little bit smaller than the G903, but my God, the pictures don't do it any justice. I'm going to have to get used to holding the mouse a little differently, with my fingers basically going way over the button. So I'm not really pressing it with my fingertips. I'm pressing it with not quite my middle knuckle, but one of the part, the base of my finger rather than the fingertips. I could go claw grip, but I'm not a big lover of claw grip. I move between different grips, claw and palm. I do move between them, but this one seems to be really well built for claw or small hands. So, but it is phenomenally light. It is a phenomenally light. It feels like about half the weight of the G903, which makes it very, very responsive. So this is going to be a great mouse for Doom. This is going to be a phenomenal mouse for Doom. I've got Doom, by the way, Doom Eternal, if I ever get around to playing it. So it is absolutely phenomenal. However, there's a little side of me still prefers the G903. A lot of it's I've just become completely accustomed to it, but it just seems to be a perfect fit for my hand. The 903, and the way I hold the mouse. I like its shape, especially around the thumb and the little finger. But again, that could be habit, but I don't think so. I think it's because it's slightly wider at that point, and so I can grip the mouse with my little finger and thumb and make more contact with my hand. Whereas if I do that with the G Pro, my palm is completely off the mouse. So, however, this is a very, very good mouse, and hopefully it will allow me to play like Fallout 76 without totally and utterly screaming. But it also does mean now I've got two slightly broken G903s. But now that I've got a mouse, I don't have to worry about it. When I get some spare moments, I'm going to open up these babies and see if I can transfer one of the micro switches from one of them to the other. And if I manage that, I may also see if I can fix the other micro switches, because maybe it's just something very easy to fix on them. And if I can fix it without even changing the micro switches over, maybe it's just something that's like, all I need to do is tweak it a little bit and then suddenly it'll work a lot better. What I might do is try and make one of them silent. I'm going to play around with the switches and see if I can make them not click. So at the moment, don't know if you heard that. That was the click of the mouse. I'm wondering if I can get it to be totally silent, so I can actually have a silent gaming mouse. I do have. Let me just check over here. I do have a silent Logitech mouse. I can't remember. It's the M590. It's silent and it's designed for use with when your laptop and you're in a hotel and you don't want to disturb people. And it's got this sort of click. So it's not got a click. It's just the sound of the button hitting the thing. So, and I bought that specifically if I play a game like Amnesia, because honestly, when playing a game like Amnesia, you whisper a lot, and the sound in game is usually quite low. It doesn't have a lot of ambient sound very often, because the idea is you want it to be creepy sounding, and so you can hear the clicks. I noticed it when I was playing Alien, which is why I ended up using a silent mouse. But if I can get a gaming mouse that's silent, and then I can play things like Skyrim with Leonard with a silent gaming mouse, that would be brilliant. And then, of course, I could have this mouse, this new mouse, for when I'm playing loud games. So I don't know. It's just nice to have options. But it means I am going to open up the mouse and become a bit more of an expert at, tinkering around with your mouse. Since I've got a spare mouse now and two mice that are still bloody good mice. Those two G903s are bloody good mice. They really are. So if I can repair them, and now I don't mind if I break them totally. I've also sort of semi-fixed my laptop. I had to order some more tools. I'd lost the screw bits I needed to take this one. I'd lost the I think it was T5s. Actually, I lost an awful lot of them. I went into my tool cupboard and there's all sorts of things missing. So I basically got myself a bunch of new bits and opened it up. I didn't take the fans out, though. I didn't, because it was a bit of a... I looked at it and it was going to take quite a bit of messing about, and it almost certainly would involve having to refresh the thermal paste. But with it open, I managed to get the compressed air nozzle right up against the fan blades and blow into it. And I did see some small chunks of fluff come out. Not just dust, but some chunks of fluff. So that seems to have helped, because whilst the laptop still... I mean, well, give me a second. See, it's currently running at about 70 degrees because I've got Twitch open. Maybe if I actually paused Twitch so it wasn't playing as much. It is warm, but the fan is a lot quieter. You can hear the fan. You can't hear it. But it sounded a little less whining, that sound. So I think I did dislodge something. But honestly, I think the only way I'm going to really make it a lot quieter is to take it off and reapply the thermal paste, because I have a sneaking suspicion it's probably not brilliant. Whereas, you know, if I get better thermal paste. Some people have suggested liquid metal. And some people, I'm getting contradictory advice. Some people saying, no, it's brilliant on laptops and it will make a huge difference. And some people say it's not worth it on laptops. I'm going to try the thermal paste I've got. I've got some Thermal Grizzlies Cryo paste. I'm going to try that, see if that makes a difference. And if it does, if it makes it so that I barely hear the fan. And I mean, like, now that I've closed down Twitch, the fan stopped. I cannot hear the fan at all. I cannot hear the fan at all. So I think what it does is it cools down quicker as well now. So, and then failing that, I may, if I can't fix it, I may try the liquid metal route. I just think it's massively overkill for something that I do not use particularly often. But it is fascinating to open up the laptop and dismantle things. So. And if I get to the point where I need to do the thermal paste anyway, I'll get a dry run at applying new thermal paste. So I'll have taken it apart enough to know what I'm doing, and then doing the liquid metal will just require I be very, very careful more than anything. So what's my idle CPU usage at the moment? About I don't know. Actually, don't know. Let's have a look. I did notice there were some processes demanding a huge amount of time. But like now, my CPU seems to wander between... Right now, it's about 4%. But like if I open up Task Manager, briefly it goes up to about 30% just opening Task Manager. So right now, the biggest demands are Google, Chrome, because I've got 5 tabs open, and Skype. And it's hovering like 6 or 7%. So... the temperatures drop now to about 49 and 50. So idle temperatures, you know, but I think the fan is off now. So it's only an issue when it starts whirring up, but I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. What's the laptop exactly? It's the Yoga 920. And what else? I did try some VR streaming the other day, with a bit of a jury-rigged fixed for my cable. And it works mostly. I lose optics occasionally and have to shake my head a bit to get it back. But it is playable-ish, enough to play every now and again, or, you know, a couple of times a week to keep my VR legs. And I have contacted someone in Britain, and I am going to use them as a way to get... if he ever replies to me with his address. So yeah, consider undervolted. These are the sort of things I may try. I may have a look at it and, you know, just underclock a little bit, just so that it's not, because I don't need the power it's got. I really don't. But at the same time, I always like to make sure the physical side of things is better off anyway. I think it's always a better idea to make sure that the physical sides of things on your computer are sorted before you start resorting to underclocking or using programs to try and reduce the load. If you're having a CPU that's getting too warm under normal circumstances, the first thing to do really is to just double check that the cooler's on correctly and that the paste doesn't need replacing. Because here's the other thing, thermal paste does need replacing every now and again. It does deteriorate, so at least that's my experience. But yeah, I mean, getting rid of the fluff definitely made a difference. It made it bearable. I barely notice it unless I'm watching something like Twitch, which I don't do normally. Whereas before it was basically I could Skype someone, and there were several problems going on. But I think I've got it. I think I've got it sorted. So let's not worry about that. What Xbox event? What Xbox event was that? Was it important? I mean, was I supposed to know about the Xbox event? I've got an Xbox, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm not really the main user of it anymore. That would be my daughter, who is currently obsessed with Sims 4. So yeah. Will I be streaming again tonight? I think so. Fallout 76. So it was instead of the E3. Oh, it was instead of E3. So maybe they showed some trailers and things. Which anything I'm supposed to be interested in. This is why we call this not the news, because it's not me giving you the news. It's you giving me the news. Oh. All my kids are game players now. My son's got a Nintendo Switch Lite, and he's just got this Pokemon game that's free, but you can spend about $30 on the DLC. At first, I was a bit worried. I'm like, oh, right, one of these free games, then they're going to give microtransactions. But it turns out it's actually just $30 worth of DLC, and the DLC kind of it unlocks more slots for your Pokemons, and it increases progression speed, and it adds a bunch of new stuff. So it's essentially, you can play the game for free, but we're going to keep it on a little bit of gimped mode unless you want to buy it for $30. And he's been saving his money from birthdays and things, and he wants to buy it. And I thought, it's not microtransactions. It's just, it's basically one of those free to play, but there's going to be certain things restricting you. Then you have to buy the game, but it's not microtransactions. So, I think I'm going to probably buy it for him because he's loving it. What are we talking about? Vampires. Was there a Vampires 2 trailer? Was there a Vampire? Ooh, okay. See, now I really feel morally obliged to at least play Vampire Masquerades 1 sometime soon through to remind myself. Although the thing is, I'm going to be playing Nosferatu, and I'm going to guess that Nosferatu is kind of like oh my god, I've forgotten the name. Oh god, I've forgotten the name. Oh my god, the Nutters. I'm drawing a total blank. What clan was Freddy? He was It was Malkavian. It was Malkavian. I kept wanting to say Malkovich. That's an actor. Malkavian, that was it. Malkavian, right. I have a feeling Nosferatu is like Malkavian, although even more so in that it's a little bit different of a playthrough. Because I've played a lot of I did a few playthroughs with the other classes, the other clans, and they all play more or less the same, just different powers, maybe the odd difference in conversation. But Freddy felt a little different because he was mad. But I have a feeling the Nosferatu playthrough is like, radically different. And probably my first playthrough of Bloodlines 2 will not be a Nosferatu, so it might not actually be a natural progression. But, you know, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I've got so many things I want to play. So many things I want to play. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. The Xbox event is at... Oh, is it not finished? I thought it would have been finished by now. So is it not finished? Ooh. Can I go watch it? Should I go watch it? I'm sort of feeling like... It's finished. Okay, it's over. There you go. Right, can't watch it. Right. Yeah, playing as an Nosferatu would be more like a stealth game. Totally get it. And of course you'll get different reactions from the clans as well. Next event is June. I'm going to actually have to check my calendar to figure out when that is. That's where I'm at. My kids go back to school on Monday. All of them. I mean, 2 of them are already back, sort of. It's very, very short days and very, very weird protocols. But my 12-year-old's going back on Monday. So, there you go. It's after May. Thank you very much for that. That's really, really helpful. That's exactly what I wanted. Yes, thank you. All right, and guys, there's the last emote for tonight. Kodako's been waiting for this one. Now, it looks better if... I don't know, there's some devices with bigger emotes, because the big version looks way better. There you go. We've got a Gopher loot one. So yes, we've now got emotes. We got emotes. Yes. So what else have I got to do to become a professional streamer? I can't remember. There are a lot of other things, actually. I'm still sending Quadico the most embarrassing things, messages asking about things I'm supposed to do that she's... I sent her a message today asking what a pop socket was. Because apparently I can make pop sockets on the merchandise thing. And I'm like, that's nice. What the hell's a pop socket? So that's where I'm at. It's sweet rolls in there. Yeah, it's a little hard to see on the small version, but if you see the bigger version, it's sweet rolls. I actually want to get a large version of that. I love that image. No, not sock puppets. Pop socket, which apparently is a thing. So yeah, there you go. We now have emotes. I've got a working mouse. I still don't have a working work environment. But, you know. Getting ready to tweet again in a minute. So, yeah, so I think that's it. I do believe that is it. Have I missed anything? Is there... You stick to the back of your phone. Do you? Okay, that's nice. All right. Well, that helps. Those are obnoxious. You told me that. Yeah, you told me it was something to do with the phone. You just stick it on the back of your phone. I'm not totally sure. There's a rumor that the original Mass Effect trilogy might get a remake. Oh. Well, if that's if that's true, then I should definitely hold off on a Mass Effect playthrough. Although, oh yeah, you sent me a link. Yeah, I've not had time to click the link. I saw a picture of it. I can see it. I can see it. It's massive, page-long link. If it's a year away, yeah, well, it's not like I'm in. It's not like I'm lacking things to play, is it, Quarico? We're not worrying too much about that. So March next year, all right. In which case, that almost guarantees I'm not going to play Mass Effect for a while. Skyblivion. Oh, it'd be nice if Skyblivion comes out. Yeah, Command and Conquer's getting a remaster. Oh God, I remember that game. Dear oh dear, I remember that game when it first came out. Yeah. I remember looking at that because I was really looking for something that was similar to Dune 2. I can't remember. I think Dune 1 sucked. Dune 1 sucked, I think. But Dune 2 was a great game, and Command and Conquer was kind of like the same sort of game. And I think these were all the games that came out before things like Warcraft. Warcraft and then Starcraft. These were the games that came out before then. There isn't a remake announced. It's a baseless rumour. Might be. Half of them are. Half of them are not. Dune 2 was awesome. Yeah, Dune 2 wasn't that the original RTS? I think so. I think Dune 2 is the one that they all got based upon. Dune 1, I believe, sucked. I did play it, but I remember not particularly liking it. But Dune 2, I can't remember how it was different. I remember it was basically the template for modern RTS games. But I can't remember what Dune 1 was, to be honest. I remember not being impressed by it, though. Although not as unimpressed as I was with the movie. What was that? And why did Patrick Stewart agree to be in it? Yeah, I didn't like Dune. The first game, I remember not liking it that much. I remember the first game not really clicking the way Dune 2 did. I can't remember why. I cannot remember why. But the movie, no, God, I couldn't stand the movie. Couldn't stand the movie. I mean... Oh, Patrick Stewart might have been brilliant, but they absolutely butchered the Dune story. They butchered it. They butchered it. I mean, it was such a Hollywood mess. It was such a Hollywood mess. It was like, okay, well, we got this book, Dune. Let's remove all the things that made it what it was and keep the bits about some fighting, right? And worms. Yeah, worms and fighting. We'll keep those bits in. But let's have tons of other stuff. Was it because of Sting? I can't remember how... Sting was played the nephew of the Baron, right? I can't remember the names. Now, it wasn't any of the actors' fault. It wasn't the actors' fault. It was the writing. It was the writing. They changed so many things. They changed some very core concepts from the book, and just it's like here's the Dune movie was to the book as the Star Wars reboot Phantom Menace thing was to Star Wars. It was like that. Didn't they even change what I mean? Oh no, you know what? Don't get me started. Don't even get me started. Oh, the voice modules. God, don't get me started, I said. It even had Max as well, didn't it? It had Max von Sydow. I mean, it had a really good cast. It had a really, really good cast. The cast was brilliant. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these people who says, "Oh, well, the movies have to be exactly the same as the books to be better," because sometimes books are actually. Thank you for the resub, 3B. Because sometimes I've seen books that were turned into movies, and the movies were better because they took some artistic or flow narrative things. Misery's a prime example of that. Misery, the book, is okay, Stephen King, but the movie, way better, way better. They trimmed off a lot of things. I think the TV series of Game of Thrones was better up until the point up until the point where the books stop. I think the TV series was better than the books up to the point. Well, actually, I tell a lie. I only read the first 4 books, was it? I think it was 4 books. Up to the point I read, the TV series was better. I have no idea what the books are going to do with the ending. Let's face it, they can't do a worse job than the TV series. But there's plenty of things that I think, books are not always the best thing, right? But this isn't a thing. This isn't like that. They just. It was sort of. It just wasn't. It wasn't the book, not at all. It was like the story was different. It's just. It was. I don't know. It was completely and utterly crap. I hated it. Couldn't stand it. Maybe if I'd not read the book, I would have found it to be okay. But they changed things. And I remember thinking at the time that, well, at least we know they can't have sequels. Because Dune had something like 5 books at least. They had like 5 books. And I remember at the end of the movie, thinking, well, that's at least 7. Was it 7? Now, I've read them all, believe it or not, although it was like 25 years ago, 30 years ago. It was a long time ago. It was back in my college days, sort of thing, like sort of between 16 and 19 or something, I think. Maybe a little older than that. I can't remember. What I do remember is